Australia, New Zealand to places like Europe and the States has been down, but in Asia it's been quite strong, particularly Japan, Vietnam, China. Third quarter, January to March was when obviously Donald Trump got elected. Then there were a lot of tariff issues. People, and not only from Australia, but particularly Canada. Our Canada business was significantly affected.
There were tensions too in the Middle East, which briefly prompted the closure of some airspace. Can you explain where you've seen the greatest disruptions to travel?
Yeah, look, Kirsten, it's been fairly much across the board. Certainly Australia, New Zealand to places like Europe and the States has been down, but in Asia it's been quite strong, particularly Japan, Vietnam, China. So it varies market by market. Europe to the States has been down as well as Canada, and just generally I think corporates, because of the uncertainty, have been trading down, and half our business now is corporate travel business. And there's just been that little bit of uncertainty. As you say, in the Middle East, Doha airport was shut down for some hours, and that just makes people feel a bit uncomfortable. And so not everyone goes ahead with their travel arrangements.
Flight Centre's bookings to the US dropped by 11% during the fourth quarter. That did coincide with the announcement of tariffs. Is the drop in demand ongoing?
Look, I don't think it will be as people get used to it. But people do have an alternative to going to the States, whether that's Canada or South America or Europe, out of Australia. So, and I know, talking to G Adventures and Intrepid, who run tours to the States, they were down at one stage, and this was a few months ago in May, June, about 40% in terms of traffic to the States. For their tours, but overall their tours were up about 15%, out of Australia. So people were tending to go to different destinations in that instance. But that's why we think, as things have settled down, that things will come back, but it'll probably take a little bit of time.
Qantas is telling a different story to Flight Centre in that it's just announced it's increasing capacity to the United States on account of demand. Can you put some colour on why Flight Centre's US story isn't as bright as the one issued by Qantas?
Yeah, look, the traffic across the Pacific to the States has fluctuated a bit over the last few months, as some of the American carriers have increased and then decreased demand, and some of them do fly more seasonally, over the winter and peak summer periods. But you've also got to remember that Qantas generally will see their bookings probably, on average, leisure bookings probably 3 months in advance. So at the moment they may well see the capacity being delivered to them because of the advanced bookings, where we tend to look at people when they travel. So we hope that they're right, and that the demand is going to turn into actual people travelling, but that's when that will be generally when we measure what our income is on that particular route.
And so, what do these conditions mean for people wanting to travel? Are fares and travel packages in some categories decreasing in price?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, as we know, coming out of COVID, as demand reached fever pitch, if you like, in 23, 24, prices, as you know, were quite high, and they still haven't come off dramatically, although you will see some pretty good prices, early bird fares and this sort of thing coming up over the next few months. There probably won't be a lot of seats allocated to those fares, but the fares are becoming more economical.
You've signed an agreement with the AI company Anthropic. How concerned are you that increasingly customers themselves will be using AI to book their own travel?
Yes, it is a mixed blessing. I mean, it means that If AI becomes very effective at this, that people will be able to book through AI, with relative ease. But it also helps us in dealing with our customers. And I think people are still quite a long way off relying totally on AI to do all their bookings. So, but it could be a challenge in a few years' time.
Graham Turner, thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirsten.